Hello and welcome to today's video. My name's Leah and I am going to be your reader for the next possibly hour. I've been really recording a lot of videos that are like hour length. So if you do like this video, there's others you can check out for the messages in the different videos. Right now, I am super reading about I'm really reading a romantic kind of, if you will, collaboration between two people, you and someone else, where you guys are staying true to yourselves in ways of healing through shadow work, through going back to different faith-based practices that you once were really into, that you were more so, it was something about like other people who aren't following those faith-based different like things that you believe in, if you will, practices. Something about how others before you have really like humiliated this of you in ways of not honoring something that you honor so much so. And it's something of you learning how to stay true to yourself even when you go through those different frustrating experiences of like the whole thing about how a simple thing of honoring another's belief, even if it isn't yours, is still very profound. And that's something to think about like throughout this video, because it's like you realize that you can accept everyone in terms of how they live life, where it's like you find the good in kind of all situations before. And I'm getting specifically in these different humiliating different experiences, it's because your connection to your faith was so intimidating to another because they don't understand it, and they were really having a hard time getting some kind of like physical kind of grip of like, yes, it is possible that someone who you are on the outside can have the faith that you have, period. And I'm getting it's like a faith-based practice that is so, it's so you that it's like almost, yeah, like ancient faith-based practices that are more so, if you will, forgotten throughout time, where it's like so far back in time that the people who practiced or practices these different faith-based practices, it's something about how you don't have like an actual physical connection to it except for yourself. It's like within your own physicality, within your own body is where the connection is. And it's so cool because it's how you set up for the rest of your friends, your family, community, and them understanding that individuals around the world are way more in terms of expansive in ways of living life and it working for them. And it's like you're allowing others in your kind of local community, your family, friends, local community members, the chance to see and understand how to live life where it's like staying true to you, but it's also about recognizing that you are different and you're okay with you being different, because you see that to be different is to stay true to yourself. It's something about how for you specifically, your differences and ways that set you apart in your community, especially in your faith-based community, especially I'm getting like your family, for instance, the influence of your family, you're different, where it's like you accept it, and not only that, you choose to be different. And there's something about how allowing yourself to honor that in of itself is really important. And I'm getting that that's something uncomfortable for you because you're going to be doing it on your own by yourself. And I want to insert that even though I'm getting like a member of your family, every single member is different. And every single member is supposed to be different for a reason, to enhance your family in a different way. Also with friend groups, to enhance the friend group in a different way. The local community, because the whole difference is it expands you in ways of more of reality you didn't even know was possible. That is like a physical, actual like thing, like people do it. Yes, you know what I mean? So it's like you're expanding your own local community members, whether they're personal influences in your life or acquaintances or strangers. It's the whole thing of the more that you stay true to yourself, the more that you are like doing your work in terms of being a member of that community in your local community, like you are doing your job when you're able to stay true to yourself. And it is something about recognizing that it does take time also for you to make different, how would I put it? Yeah, like different kinds of connections that you really want to, because I'm getting it's like you're kind of going back to different parts of your community, and you're also making new connections in your community. And there's something about this where it's like you are such an incredible, I don't know, like ingredient to why your community has such a cool meal. Like every single community around the world has a different meal, if you will, of interactions, of connections, of just kind of the simple knowing someone, from like going from stranger to acquaintance to like a personal close like friend, if you will, like someone who knows you more personally. There's something about that you have that's really beautiful, that really sends a lot of healing waves throughout your community, in waves, period, but in ways where it's really healing for the individuals in your community. There we go. So we haven't even gotten to the cards yet. But yeah, so I have some different things written down. Probability and the being choosing to be open to the possibilities that will appear when one opens up willingly. So when you choose to open up to the different possibilities, the probability that you will have it's some kind of door of opportunity to succeeding where you failed yesterday, where you failed in the past, okay? Knowing I'll be okay through own faith's code of conduct. So the code of conduct, this is something that we're going to get into with the cards, because I kind of went into it and it really is very cohesive with the message. We are going into how to set up for you an emotional code of conduct, and also maybe even code of ethics. I went a little into like what the difference is between, and the code of ethics when it comes to like a company, for instance, is more so, I read where it was like the general theme. Actually, before I get a little too carried away, okay, so let's see. So the code of, oh darn, I might have gone a little too far. Yeah, it was this. Okay, so it says the code of ethics provides a broader guideline to influence employees' mindset and decision making. So you could think of this as with emotions, for instance. Also, one second. There we go. I like the warmer version. Anyway, so with the code of ethics, you could think of this in terms of how you want to set up boundaries, if you will, when it comes to your emotions. What environments do you want to even use your emotions in it when it comes to decision making? In what environments do you not want to, is what I'm getting with the code of ethics, and how it's like revolving with you in it, if you will. Okay. And then we have the code of conduct, which focuses on more specific rules and behavior standards. So this is something about like going more into, in different environments in the past. It's something about looking at yourself in the recent past, how you acted, behaved, and I'm getting like, yeah, the most recent, as much as you can. And then being able to see where in the now you would want to kind of change up, if you will, your behavior in these different environments, because your behavior and your emotions are very, very closely linked up, like two DNA strands that go hand in hand. And it's the influence of your emotions. It's about the whole thing of how it's like you would be able to listen to your emotions, like different emotions you can hear a lot more loudly, if you will, than others. I'm getting it's in relation to how much you listen to your intuition and understanding where you are in the moment of your intuition, if you will, where it's like how you listen to your intuition. It's something about also this whole thing of a tone where it's like the optimism and the pessimism. And I'm getting that super closely linked to the code of ethics, which is about the influence of your mind and your decision making. So these are two things that can get you very far, and it can get you like nowhere in life, depending on how you choose to be. Even though outside doesn't match what is still being held in faith, to remain true in holding while one waits for outside to match within. So it's about allowing yourself to hold within on this, like, it's like for you. So it's not really going to be, you see it exactly outside of you. It's about a lot of different inspirations outside of you coming together and forming whatever it is that you're holding faith in, knowing if it's for you, it will become true, okay? But it's about that whole thing of staying true to you throughout this whole, which could be another thing of the code of ethics or code of conduct. And I'm getting more so the code of conduct, where it's like that's more specific for you, is staying true to you in these different environments is a really, really important thing. So it's about, even though, yes, there's something about the next thing is staying true to your emotions. So you're honoring, you're frustrated in that moment. So the thing is, how do you want to act with your frustration? Do you want to lash out? Do you want to breathe out? Do you want to walk away? Do you want to focus on something else? It's these doors of opportunity, like I was talking about at the beginning, where it's up to you. This is your choice. And you can really help yourself choose in a way that's a win-win for you if you're able to look at your like most recent past and kind of see like, ooh, yeah, maybe I did act a little bit immature. Maybe I did kind of like, you know, yeah, basically act immature. It's all about like us as individual human beings to mature our own behaviors by like seeing outside of us how we can kind of pick ourselves up again and remind ourselves individually that even though we're given a lot of SHIT, in life, okay, we are also given a lot of intellect and way of handling it to make it gold, all right, from SHIT. We are our own alchemists, where our intelligence is very, very, very much so that kind of ability to make something SHIT feeling, where you're like going into this, like you're experiencing it in their environment. It's something about how literally, even though in that environment, maybe in that moment, you're like feeling like not about it, something in your mind, you do this miraculous, like switcheroony, if you will, where you literally convince yourself, even though outside I'm like not feeling it, within I'm like so peaceful and serene. Whoops, excuse me. I'm so peaceful and serene that like literally nothing is going to make me feel less than. And so something about that where it's like you doing that yourself in way of convincing yourself is literally whatever it is needed for kind of the outside to like be less intense and influencing and controlling what it is within you, and way of how it is your mindset is, and way of how it is your decision making is. Okay, it's really like, you're so intelligent, okay? Like, I'm not kidding you. You are so intelligent. And I know the world in the standard of who's intelligent and who isn't. Let me just say, it's just from some individual's perspective that so many people have like convinced themselves, like, yes, intelligence is literally for oneself, okay? And if like someone wants to define intelligence in whatever way, that's good, but it's only for thyself. It's only for oneself, one's belief, okay? So you change in ways of how is it comfortable for you to believe that you are intelligent, because you are. You already meet the standard. The standard is you in the way that it is you. And it's going to be different, all right? And it's going to be something where so many different people outside of you might try to convince you even to say, no, that's not intelligent at all. And you're like, whatever, I'm staying true to me. Like, whatever. Access denied and influencing me any longer. All right. So we have also, so when I was like actually going in on the match, where it's like you match, so like you stay true to yourself and then the outside will eventually match with you. Okay, so I went down a little rabbit hole, if you will, and I was like, okay, whoa. This makes me think of a matchbook and an actual match, and how you would strike. I wish I had one with me. I usually do, but it's like in the matchbook, you would basically, it's like this, really tiny though, is the matchbooks in my mind. Actually, I drew it. I forgot. I'm trying to like show y'all. Okay, so this is like a matchbook. So inside you have matches, outside you have a strip, and you would match, like you would strike this singular match on the strip. So think of it as you have this intention where you want to be with someone who is your true love, okay? So think of the intention itself is a match, okay? And so every time that you go out into an environment, I'm getting it's something about intuitively you know that this is the environment where you and your true love is aligning, okay? And so it's something about how with matches, like in the physical reality right now, when you use a match, sometimes when you strike it or attempt to light the match, it doesn't light. And so you have to get to understand how you yourself handle the matchbook. Where did my little box go? Here we go. You have to understand how to handle the matchbook, because everyone holds the match differently. Everyone strikes it differently. Even literally like how fast you strike it is crucial. The angle that you angle the head of the match is crucial. And so there's something about how even the simplest of decision making right now for you when it comes to these environments is very crucial for you in understanding how to get a flame with one of these matches. And I'm not, I don't know why, but it feels so much like you're understanding how your method of manifesting, of law of attraction, of literal miraculous dreams come true. You're understanding the method in terms of the code of conduct and what was the other one? Code of conduct and code of ethics. Thank you. Someone said that. Yeah. So it's literally based in terms of, I'm getting, I don't know why, but the letter E is coming through. We have environment, and then we have emotions, and I'm getting everyone, okay? So when it's these three things, you have environment, you have your emotions, and you have everyone. And in these environments, I'm getting your emotions really are influenced by everyone around you. And there's something about how it's now training the way that you focus in turn of picking up on other people's emotions and allowing the influence to not like change the way you feel emotionally, but more so give you that observational like understanding more than anything. Where are you kind of like with the code of conduct, code of ethics, where are you kind of straying, if you will, off your true path of self? Because when it comes to outside like disaster, destruction, things not going your way, it's not because it's never going to be going your way. It's because in your mindset, there's something about you seeing this like as the ultimate answer is no. But this is more so needing to see where it is you're at and where it is that you can put in more focus of power and intention within you, where it's like maybe it is you do feel emotionally unheard, unseen within yourself, of you paying attention to yourself in certain ways. And it's something about allowing yourself to know that it's all right when it comes to like everything around you in terms of change, okay? Because it's like you're wanting to like, I'm really like getting like really connect with someone who sees you as you in way of even helping revive emotions where you were like kind of feeling dead inside, if you will. Okay, so let me keep going on the matchbook reference. So I went on to explain when you meet another similar to you, every meeting is a match, lit or not. Both of you strike, okay? And then the result of whether it's lit or not in terms of the match is after how you choose to light your own match. So the focus point is on you. And I know it's like super exciting knowing that there's someone out there just like, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like so you. It's like the other side of a coin. Yeah, a coin where it's like, I don't know. It's something about this where it's like also the whole thing about you picking up on their energy too. I'm getting match is your heart frequency. So this is something also to remember in ways of staying true to you. Also is in reference of your heart frequency, your heart chakra. For those who don't know, us as individuals have a chakra system, a really cool system that helps you kind of understand. I like to relate it personally with emotions right now, in my emotional well-being, because that is something that I am like super into healing right now. Like, let me get really strong emotionally and I'm gonna help the world out. I'm gonna lift the world with my like emotional strength, my willpower. Oh my gosh, let me not get into that because that would be the entire video. Like, I love it. Anyway, so we have owns faith, code of conduct. Okay, so here we go. Your code of conduct, which again, it says focuses more on specific rules and behavior standards. So think of, I'm getting right now in my mind, and I want to draw it for everyone. So in a bigger circle, we're gonna have the code of, like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm a teacher. Cool. Yeah. The code of ethics. So this is the general guidelines to influence your mind and your decision making. So lines for like your mindset and decision making, which is nice, so that you're not like always thinking like, what is kind of comfortable for me, when you're like constantly following everyone else's way of kind of mindset and decision making. And it's like the whole thing of getting really specific for you. So this, I guess, is why the code of conduct is coming up. So the code of conduct is something where it's like specifically within your code of ethics. Okay. And I'm getting that this is something about environments and how different ones you are emotionally more kind of in a distressed emotional state, right? So distressed right now, currently, if you will. And so these current areas are areas where you can focus on kind of planning, prepping, if you will, preparing, so that you're able to use the code of ethics when it comes to recognizing when you're in that distressed state. You're like, okay. And then you're able to get to the code of conducts. And so the code of conducts I'm getting is, so it might be more so than anything, not really the environments I'm getting right now. It could be, but I'm getting more so leaning towards the whole emotional state of being. Less in way of like identifying your emotional state with the environments. Ooh, okay. So hold on. So y'all, I don't know if anyone does this, which I'm getting a lot of people might do it, but do you identify a certain emotional state with a certain type of environment? If you do, that is controlling you in a way where allowing that to be, you care less in the emotional focus allows you to gain more in what you want in these environments. Thus, you're able to reinstate different emotional states of being for you. Love, love, love. So identify certain emotions. I'm getting it's like distressing. Interesting. Okay, so there's something about, I'm gonna go into now, love. we're gonna look into what are the different beliefs right now that ties you to this of thinking that you have to be like this, because it's something about realizing you can choose to be in any state of emotional kind of state that you want to. Because I'm getting it's something about where it's like you ultimately want to be optimistic, but there's something of you already are optimistic. Like you thinking that you have to like switch up your mindset or something. Yeah, like it's something about that where it's like you're thinking like you have to literally, yeah, like take off one cap, one hat, if you will, and put on another. I'm getting though that you don't, in way of like changing a lot of yourself in these environments. Like, yeah, it's like something specific and something specific. It's like an individual in the environment where you're like, how would I put this? You're like really wanting to be like good when it comes to this one individual because you have like a crush on him. Because you're like, I want to be cool, calm, and collected. Something about in the past with this individual, you really felt out of control in ways where you normally aren't, like you've never been before. And it's something where it's like you cared a lot in way in the past with this individual where they really like maybe a little bit mean. Like, I don't know how else to say it, but they're kind of mean to you. Like, and it's not you, it's them. Like, it's in terms of, how would I put it? You being you is not a reason why someone needs to be mean, okay? And this is something about how you've needed to learn this in way of you understanding it and caring for others with their emotional like embodiment in the moment. It is one's own self to ultimately make sure that one is good. And it's about realizing and recognizing that growing up, there was a lot of different situations where you had to care for your own self and way. I'm getting though, where it's like as a caretaker, they weren't really emotionally caring for you, if you will. Where you had to caretake for yourself in the emotional sense, I'm getting as a kid. And I'm getting that there's this thing when it comes to like literal human beings, and as we grow and care as individuals in our own selves, where as a child we do need that nourishment and guidance in way of honoring and nourishing one's own emotional embodiment. And I'm getting that you witnessed in terms of your caretakers the embodiment of immature emotional embodiment from a caretaker, if you will. We have the second chakra, Archangel Ariel, yin yang, and financial constraints. So this is something about your value in the way that you use your anchor is where you can change it up. I'm trying to think. I think I might have a visitor soon, maybe in the video, we'll see. There's movement happening. We have woman holding coin, strategy, and broken heart. So this is more so in essentially your own feminine way, if you will, of deciding how you want to prepare for the future, okay? With the woman holding a coin, it's not talking about the physical woman, okay? So if you are like, I identify as a man, and this card is obviously not for me, okay? Whoa, 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 hold up. In energy-wise, because this is a deck for energy, y'all. It's the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Anyway, this is talking about how you can use more so the natural ability of you attracting from what you were not given yet of, where you still dream it of. I'm getting that's why staying true to yourself in these environments when it comes to, if you do feel emotionally distressed in any way, please, please, please take a second to get space from whatever it is that's really enhancing that distressed kind of state. And it's about allowing yourself to override the whole thing of having to stay in that kind of like mask that you have to be in. And it's about allowing yourself to acknowledge in that moment you do feel distressed and you are taking control of yourself in that environment. Thus, the environment is not taking control of you, okay? And that would be you getting more distressed in your emotional state. So now that you're walking away, you're taking control of your own story. Thus, you're able to now take that pen and write in what you want next to happen, of you getting the win out of whatever environment you were just in, when it comes to that whole thing of something outside sparking I never can really say that word, distressed state of being, right? It's about listening, honoring, and it is something about how, like, also knowing that environments are not for one to really stay in forever. It's about knowing that the environment is there for you maybe till a certain time, if you will, but it's about your journey as an individual and staying true to yourself, knowing that certain environments are there for you to get to know your emotional self in a safe way. And once it gets to a place where you feel that kind of inner calling to keep moving on, it's about listening to that, knowing that even though maybe outside people might be like sad to see you go, it's about knowing that the emotional kind of embodiment of within is one's own responsibility, especially when you get to an age where you're independent, okay? That's the thing. Like adult independent, there's not really a specific age, okay? But I'm getting it's like when you feel that independency. And I just saw on the strategy, the journey, if you will, journey log. Something's forming, something's forming. We have first chakra Archangel Michael. I just did myself I think I still have it. Yeah, root chakra balance 432 plus 396 hertz sound bath healing frequency to calm your nervous system. Sound like it's just how would I put it? A video with sound. I don't know. Door to romance though, okay? So before I was talking about doors of possibility, doors of opportunities, the probability of the doors being there is all within staying true to your heart frequency, opening it up to it as well, And it's so cool, y'all, because your intuition and your third eye, oh my gosh, it's so funny how it just guides you literally to what you freaking desire. Like, life wants you to get to this door of romance, of true love, right? Because life wants you, the more that you're able to live life truly, the more that life is like, yes, please, finally, we want human beings individually to stay true to one's own self. But it's about that whole thing of observing outside of you and integrating within you, like integrating inside of you, of staying true to you within yourself, and also staying true to outside in way of decision making and acting upon, in way of, am I deciding in the way that's truly me deciding? Am I acting upon in the way that's truly me acting upon it? Am I being influenced by someone else, by another human being? Because also every human being is equal in way of, we live and we die. And we do stuff in between, but we all do it differently. Like, no one in any life, even identical twins, are different. Like, literally, differences are very important for one's own life. It's very important for you to realize this, recognize it. You were given gifts as a child. You were given these talents. You were given these different ways for you to expand in way of making life fun again, where it really enhances so much of everyone else, and reminding them that life is about living, about laughing, about loving, and it all is about having fun with yourself, all right? Having fun with life, right? But having fun living life, okay? All tied up, all right? So in the places where you're like, well, actually, you know what? Hold up. Let me read this for a minute, because I'm actually... We have door to value. Okay. What else can you tell me about it? Caring connections in the world. Okay. So... something about the current caring connections. Something about that, there's a lot of value. Oh, okay. So you bring a lot of healing. You bring a lot of healing, like love, a lot of healing care. Like, you're a natural caretaker, okay? You're a natural caretaker. You are someone who naturally can allow so much to grow from, like, more so an immature to a mature state of being. It's like you're able to allow others to get to know themselves, where it's very natural for them. And it's something about how, yeah, it's like in the past you've realized that people are a lot more comfortable with you than you are with them, and so you've held back in different ways of expressing your care. But I'm getting that there's in terms of, like, way back when we talked about the code of ethics, code of conducts, in terms of, like, emotional boundaries, or boundaries for yourself in the state of emotional state for yourself, where it's something about, if you feel distressed in certain environments, anywhere, it's something about not acting upon them, but observing what within your mindset is telling you, is focusing on you to act and decide in a way where it's maybe you would have done it in the past, but now you're like, I want to do something differently. Journey. Yeah. So it's something about how It's like allowing yourself to see that these different connections I'm getting that you do have are not lost. They are not forgotten. That other people in these different connections are still, like, they still see you in a way of care, if you will. It's something about how you see yourself in a way of not care, where it's like you wouldn't be surprised if someone else would see you in the way that you would see yourself, through the eyes of someone else. Like, you're thinking about it and you're like trying to put yourself in someone else's shoes, right? And so you're like now able to see yourself, but there's something about how in these different environments, it's like you berate yourself in the way of how you reacted in the past, how you made decisions in the past. And so now when you go in these environments, you're challenged with the way of trying to find that optimism of seeing yourself maybe in the eyes of someone else, where they still care about you and they would want the best for you, and they're so proud. Okay, they're so proud of how far you've come from before, in way of how you decided to act, in way of your emotions. And you've matured in so many different ways that, like, just deep breaths, where it's just like, it allows you to really kind of ground yourself to a point where you don't need to run anymore. Period. Where you can just like allow yourself, oh my gosh, y'all, I'm gonna cry. Where you can like allow yourself to enjoy who you are and like honor who you are through it all, and not feel ashamed for like the natural ways of how you emotionally decide to be, if you will. Or if you will, how you decide to be from the emotions that are in the now of being. Angel of Balance. And it's like I'm getting like a relief. Like, you're like, it's okay for me. Right? Like, it sucks when like you're shamed to like feel bad about like a natural like response for you. And I'm getting that you're learning how, it's so beautiful, you're learning how to really accept in a way of really loving yourself, where yeah, it's like in the eyes of another, if they were to see you as distressed as you would be, like, my heart breaks. Like, other people's heart breaks when they like see you in that distressed state. And it's something about how like they don't want you to berate yourself and feel bad about you feeling that kind of emotional way. They want you to like feel better about yourself, and it's like such a beautiful way for you to accept how you feel in the moment and let it pass and kind of ground back to who you are through it all. Because like how you feel in the moment is not who you are through it all. And to not like yourself through it all is a really, really like a really tough like job that you don't have to like have. You can like yourself. Like, definitely I'm someone, you know what I mean? I like am someone who's like very emotional, obviously, and like super sensitive, and I've really like had a lot of resentment myself when it comes to like just being like super aware of like my emotional state of being and others. But I am like realizing how it's so I don't know, like it's so cool for me in the way that I am with my emotions now more. But it has taken a lot of years. Like I'm 28, and it's taken a lot of years for me to really love and accept where I'm at. So like you'll get there. All right, you're gonna get there when it comes to just, even when you feel distressed, you still know that you're safe, right? That's such a cool feeling to be at, like, because I'm getting that in your home. As a kid, you were like never able to be feeling like safe in your emotional embodiment, because the caretakers, people were like humiliating you in the way that you are. And know that it's because they couldn't even control their own selves, okay? And they tried to shame you. That's it. That's it. Like, literally. Like, they just couldn't be able to say, I need help, in a way of getting outside advice from someone who has more expertise. And I'm getting that you yourself had to go and, like, you know, you got your own expertise in the way of handling your own, like, emotional embodiment. Like, you got therapy, I'm getting, like, medication. So it's kind of like you, even though I'm getting that you were kind of someone who in the family is very different in this way when it comes to, like, your emotional embodiment specifically, you hold a lot of value within your family as an individual because of the education, the experience, and the amount of, like, years of, like, living through it, being the actual, like, person that would be in, like, a textbook, if you will. So it's something about how you are, like, such an expert when it comes to how it is that you know in terms of moving forward in ways in these environments. Yeah, being alive. Thank you for staying with me through my times of tears. I might even eventually have, like, a little segment where if you want to cry with me, we can just cry. Because, like, honestly, crying with other people, crying just makes people uncomfortable. And it's more so if you're not used to crying, it's uncomfortable. If you're used to crying, it's not really uncomfortable. Like, I cry everywhere. I'm so emotional. If you want to know why, I have a Cancer moon. Okay? Cancer, this is, I love, like, this is why I've recommended in the past to get your birth chart checked out. Y'all, it tells you so much, and it might cue you in also in different kind of education resources, if you will, where again, you can be more of an expertise on your own emotional embodiment, which is kind of like, I'm convincing myself to do research too, because I could always use some more knowledge, if you will. Knowledge is power, as they say. Also, it comes with a lot of responsibility, sort of thing. So that's I'm getting with the boundaries. It says patience. All right, the boundaries is something that is so useful for you throughout your life. All right, throughout your entirety of identity in this life, as you live, as you breathe. It's a way for you to still be able to be yourself, feel like yourself, right? Without feeling like you're just an emotion. Anyone else has just identified so much with your emotions that you're just like an emotion? Like, you think you're just this emotion, and if you're not this emotion, you're not you. Same. As I said that, I'm like, whoa, because I used to say, and sometimes I do say, like, more so when I'm like not feeling so great, that I would be like happy-go-lucky Leah. And I'm realizing there's like no way I can always be happy-go-lucky Leah. Like, no wonder I've been having some issues. No wonder I have BPD. Now there's other reasons why, but y'all, the more that I get who I am, what I've been through, what I've had to like be able to basically live life